The Bermuda Triangle is a place of many strange stories. Aircraft and ships disappear here, even in this day and age that aircraft are equipped with the most modern navigational equipment. In the last century, the 20th century, when this bewildering corner of the Pacific was the focus of public attention, cases of missing persons occurred with alarming regularity. Official government reports attributing the disappearances to unexplained external circumstances reinforced the frightening image of the Devil's Triangle. Hi folks, in this video we are going to take a look behind the veil in which this mystery has been hidden and try to solve some of these mysteries. We would like to remind you in advance that the other mysteries are still cloaked in a veil. Welcome to our channel. Now, what exactly is in this triangle connecting the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and Florida? Are you interested? Here we go, but first subscribe to our channel and help our channel reach more lovers of mysteries, disappearances, and treasures of the Bermuda Triangles. Treasures, golden tables, and Columbus. In the age of discoveries, these same waters were the sea route to the road to El Dorado. Dozens of Spanish galleons, laden with exotic goods and vast wealth, set sail for Europe from here. In July 1502, the new ruler Nicolas de Ovando ordered a fleet of 31 ships to be sent to Spain. The fleet carried gold and slaves, one of which was boarded by the previous ruler, Francisco de Bobadilla, with his vast wealth. Christopher Columbus, discoverer of the Americas, who happened to be in Santo Domingo at the time, immediately objected to Ovando's orders. The great sailor, who had recognized the signs of an approaching storm, asked Ovando to postpone the departure of his fleet. Columbus' concerns were understandable, this because the ship Aguja, carrying his own gold, was also in the fleet. Moreover, the most vulnerable ship in the fleet. But Nicolas de Ovando did not bend his will, and in the end, the 20 gold-laden ships were caught in a storm and sank to the bottom of the Mona Channel. A huge treasure also shared the ship's fate. Among them were called the Golden Table and Francisco de Bobadilla, weighed 1.5 tons and today would be worth no less than $87 million. This, as well as any other treasure, remains lost in the intriguing Bermuda Triangle to this day. On the other hand, Columbus' own ship, the Aguja, escaped, and the treasure worth 4,000 pesos was safely delivered to Spain. This led to the suspicion that Columbus was some sort of witch. Incidentally, it was Columbus who first used the tragic term Devil's Triangle in his logbooks. He mentions the Sargasso Sea, the mysterious sea of seaweed. Columbus also mentions the common functioning of the compass and the shining sea water. Actually, it was plankton. And then he tells of a tongue-shaped flame that surprised the sailors and is still unexplained. What these flames were, historians still debate. It is really amazing that the Bermuda Triangle has so many mysteries, stories, and treasures, but you know what would be more amazing now, if you would like this video. Another mystery surrounding Christopher Columbus. Now let's move from an event so long ago that it became a legend, to a relatively recent incident about 100 years ago. In 1921, the schooner Carol Deering was found in shallow water in the waters of the Bermuda Triangle. Lifeboats approached the hull, but there was no sign of anyone alive. Legend has it that there was still food in the galley and 2 cats hanging out on deck. The crew was gone, along with their personal belongings, their logbooks, and the tools they used to sail. Where they all went, no one knows. The answer to the mystery may be hidden in the missing lifeboats. There are many theories about this as well. Some people believe that the crew was rescued by another steamship, the Rewitch, which sank at sea with them. Some believe that the ship was attacked by pirates, while others believe that the crew of the Carol Deering rebelled and became pirates. In the end, there is no certain answer. The events of April 11, 1921 have also shed a ray of light on this tragedy. Christopher Columbus Gray, a sailor from North Carolina, found a bottle containing a letter. In the letter, the crew of the missing ship asked for rescue and a message to the adhered headquarters. The handwriting suggested that the letter was from Mr. Bates, a shipbuilding engineer. The mystery deepened, but eventually, Christopher Columbus Gray admitted that the letter was a forgery. He just wanted to make a name for himself and get a job at the local lighthouse. Was there coffee? Now we come to the story of the tanker Fog that disappeared in the Freeport area in early February 1972. The FOG was supposed to be heading out to sea to clean benzene from its tanks and then head to the Gulf of Mexico to load a new cargo. However, the vessel never reached its destination. 2 weeks later, divers found the wreck of the ship that had been wrecked by an explosion. According to legend, there was no one on board except the captain. The captain was sitting in his cabin with a cup of coffee in his hand, and he was about to drink it. A horrifying sight would have been if the story were true. The truth, however, there was nothing mysterious about it. The ship exploded because of careless handling of hazardous materials. In an investigation conducted in Lawrence, which is familiar with the Bermuda Triangle, divers also found several sailors' bodies, in addition to the captain, on board the ship. And the captain was not on the table either, because such a thing is impossible in a flooded cabin. He was floating silently on the cabin ceiling. And of course, no member of the rescue team talked about the cup of coffee, but when you have a drink in a bar on land, people like a well-crafted story. And they always want something to gossip about. The mystery of the yacht Connemara 5. An overview of the history of the Bermuda Triangle reveals that there have been approximately no disappearances of boats and aircraft. Many of them disappeared in good weather, without even sending an SOS signal. Government agencies do not consider this to be unusual, and insurance companies do not charge premiums for passing through the Devil's Triangle. However, there must be a reason for this sudden disappearance. There are probably more than one reason, according to the researchers. Complex sailing conditions, storms, sudden high waves, and even methane bubbles that regularly break on the sea surface are all culprits. On some occasions, however, the causes of some mysterious incidents can be quite simple. Such was the case with the incident on the leisure yacht Connemara 5. She was found adrift off the south coast of the Bermuda Islands on September 26, 1955, after the passage of the strong Hurricane Ion. No crew members were on board, and it is a familiar mystery from the waters of the Devil's Triangle that fans of this impassable place are always happy to tell. Doesn't that, in fact, pique your curiosity? Next, let's begin to solve a mystery. There was no crew aboard the yacht because it should never have existed in the first place. The yacht was washed away by a storm from its local harbor because all the crew were in a safe place, yes, on land, at that moment. Blue hole. Water. The waters of the Bermuda Triangle are also home to several objects that fascinate and amaze researchers. At the same time, one of them is the blue hole. It is a deep circular hole in a karst formation. It has a deep, dark greenish blue color that stands out in the shallow emerald green waters of Florida and the Bahamas. Here in the Bahamas is the Dean Blue Hole, the second largest blue hole in the world. It is approximately 2,002 meters deep, and the top entrance to the hole is 25 m in diameter. There are others worthy of note, for example, the Sawmill Sink Blue Hole, with a 600 m wide cave, and the Blue Hole. These landforms were formed when limestone formations were above sea level. Later, changes in topography caused them to sink below sea level. This now results in holes filled with fresh water with salt water at the bottom and lighter specific gravity at the top. This is an unusual topography, retaining traces of past times. For example, in the Blue Hole on Abaco Island, traces of vegetation have been found that are now not found above ground. However, there are significant dangers for researchers to reach this treasure trove. This is because only experienced divers can dive the blue hole, and only with a well-prepared expedition team. There is no room for error in this mystery in the Bermuda Triangle. Ships in the desert. In 1925, the bulk carrier Cotopaxi was returning from South Carolina to the Bahamas with a cargo of coal. On December 1st, the last transmission reported that the cargo hold was flooded, leaning heavily to the side. At that time, a storm was raging in the area and 3 vessels had been pulled into the open sea. The disappearance of the ship was therefore not unexpected. However, the details of this incident remained unknown for 100 years. In 1977, lovers of the Bermuda Triangle mystery were excited. It was told that the Cotopaxi, its hull, was found in the Gobi Desert. This, however, was the creation of Steven Spielberg, the director of Date with the Unknown. The actual hull was found at almost the same time. The wreckage of the ship was found 65 kilometers from Florida. However, at that time it was not possible to identify which ship the wreck was from, and for a long time it was called the Bear Ship in Peril. Then, in 2020, 15 years of research by marine biologist Michael Bernard revealed that it was, in fact, the Cotopaxi. To solve the mystery, Burnett not only had to repeatedly dive into the sea, but also had to rely on ancient records, court decisions, museum collections, and books. Well, that's the end of this video. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed it. If you left your like and subscribed to the channel, that is the best feedback we can receive. There are still many curious mysteries and amazing facts to be discovered. And we have 2 more amazing videos with many discoveries and mysteries to point you to. See you in the next video. Bye.